So I'm out behind Walmart at what we refer to as the Cracker Barrel encampment. That's because the Cracker Barrel advertisement sign is what you see from the highway. And I'm down here with some advocates for the homeless, and I wanted to bring them down to show them like what we're up against in this neighborhood, because they're out there trying to do some good work and get help and services for people. But when this is the way that some people treat our neighborhood and our properties around here, it makes it really hard for them to advocate for those people. But also because there has to be a respect between people that are in need, people that are homeless, and people that live here. And this just is obviously a lack of respect. So the man that owns this property, and you can see this goes, I've been up here with you before, but this goes way, 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 way back. Way back. And we even went down the walking trails that go behind the sports complex over here, and there are more encampments. Some of them though are just little tents that are neat and tidy. Others are messy. This is the worst. This encampment started in 2019, and at that time neighbors noticed there were some tents up here, and we contacted the city, and really we weren't concerned until there was a fire. There was a fire in the trail, the walking trails that we used to use for our kids, and we went down there and there's some mattresses that were still smoldering, and that's when people became concerned because it wasn't a safe place for them to be. So that's when I first reached out and contacted the city. I asked the police chief at that time to see if we could have a patrol down here. I used to see Chief Willard down in these trails all the time, and it really kept things safe for us. But that never happened. We never had patrols. And so now you can see how far this goes. If you're driving on 293 between the mall exit and the Brown Ave exit, you can see all this from there. Like, look, we've offered to come clean, but the city has told us it's a biohazard, and I think you can see why. The gentleman that owns this property lives in Connecticut. He's an elderly person, and he just has the property to have that little sign that he makes a little bit of money off of. So because the city let it go for so long, we have this disaster now. They didn't even contact him until 2021, toward the end of 2021, middle to end of 2021. So by that time, it looked like this. So now he's on the hook for $30,000 to $40,000 to clean this up. The city's going to start charging him $1,000 a day. Personally, I don't think that it's right. I think this is on the city, and as much as I protect the taxpayers, I don't think that this man should be responsible for what the city let happen to his property without any notification. I contacted the governor to see if he could help us, and he said that the city still has ARPA funds that absolutely could be used for this purpose, and I implore the aldermen to put some pressure on the mayor's office to use the ARPA funds. $30,000 to $40,000 out of the millions of ARPA funds that we have is not going to crush us. Having it look like this hurts my neighborhood. It hurts all of us that live here. We don't use the trails anymore. And I was just talking to a gentleman that I've spoken to before. He lives underneath the underpass over there for under 293. He's a veteran. He's built a little place for himself to live, and the veterans have been working with him. Harbor Homes is working with him. They have an apartment for him. He says he's moving out soon, so God bless him. I hope that he's super successful. He's been keeping an eye on things down here. I told him I actually felt better with him down here because he and I have had lots of conversations, but he said the crime down here is really bad. He said it's not a safe place to be. He's encouraged some other people that live down here to get out of Manchester because it's not safe anymore. He was attacked with a machete down here. So when Shauna Green says that this place is empty and no one's living here, it's not true. We've seen people here in and out of here most of the time we've been here. And he told me that there's at least 10 people living here pretty consistently. So you can see the businesses around here that are impacted right down there. So these trails go down to behind a neighborhood, the Ken Burma area. And if you go straight down that's President Road. So that's a residential area just past that flag. And then down here are these trails are where we used to go walking. So this is what we're dealing with, and like I said, this is on the city, and they should be responsible for cleaning it up.